What's good, YouTube? Yo, welcome back to another ref video. People are mad about Ubisoft or something, I don't know. Crashed out over Grifters criticizing Ubisoft. I think it's very valid to criticize Ubisoft, because considering what they've done so far, for a company that's very about inclusion and stuff, you know. But they're very terrible at actually being inclusive whenever it comes to Japan, right? And considering their main squeeze game right now is Shadows, right? Which is a game originating or playing in Japan as a black samurai and a Asian lady, or a assassin lady, I mean. So yeah. Cool. Anyway, let's see what people are mad about.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So in yesterday's video, I said we would not be talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows again unless something big happens, and unfortunately, a lot has happened over the past 24 hours. It's been an absolute dumpster fire, and I want to share what's going on. So we have everything from content creators publicly crashing out over criticism of this game, to this official Ubisoft account feuding with people on twitter.com. It's an absolute mess, and let's start with this right
Really?
here. So this is how it all began with the Twitter feud here. It began with...
Of course it begins with Grumsy. Of course it begins with Grumsy. Okay. Okay, so I saw him playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. Oh, okay, he got paid to play the game. Money, they're throwing at terrorist platforming streamers. No. They're throwing money at Hassan, which is a very left-minded, or left-oriented fan base, which would love most things they did with Shadows. So it makes sense. It makes sense to sponsor him for this game. It makes a lot of sense. I see why they did it.
Grums, aka Mark Kern, a former team lead at Blizzard, saying this: you can tell a lot about Ubisoft with how much money they're throwing at terrorist platforming streamers, referring to Hassan Piker, who was paid to promote this game.
Remind you, I've still not watched the content nuke for Hassan. I still want to do that. So I still don't really know why people say Hassan is as bad as he is. As far as I've known, I haven't really seen anything very traumatic or insane about him. So yeah, I know he's called a terrorist glorifier and stuff, and I've seen that he does that. He talked about, like, you know, that stupid example that he did, like it's like talking to Anne Frank. That was very dumb, but I haven't really seen the full concept of that. So before I see the full concept of something, can't really make a valid opinion about something. That's kind of my new motto, kind of my new way of absorbing information. Yeah, okay. Obviously, people call him a terrorist to, like, devalue him in some way or manner. So it's a classic tactic that a lot of people use on the left and the right to devalue somebody. Just call them a slur, or call them a label that's bad, and then, you know, people start either hating on him or starting to take him less seriously.
And then Elon Musk, of all people, responds by saying Hassan is a fraud, and then adds on, sellout would be more accurate. Objectively,
I'm still confused on whether Elon Musk actually is, or the Twitter Elon Musk is actually the real Elon Musk. Because some things he says is just, I don't know, man. Just kind of weird, you know? And you could say, oh, well, Elon is a weird dude, and I would agree. He's very special. But some of the things, I don't know. I just don't really see him saying that. But hey, I don't know the dude, so, you know, I could be wrong.
He is promoting a terrible game just for the money. And then the official Assassin's Creed account replies to that saying, is that what the guy playing your Path of Exile 2 account told you? Getting 600,000 likes, by the way.
Alright. I still don't really get this whole thing about, oh, he's not a gamer, he doesn't play the game. I mean, I don't know, maybe. I've seen clips of him playing the game. Also, he's a busy man. Like, the fact that he gets any time to play games in the first place is ridiculous to me. The fact that he finds the time is insane, especially if he's gonna play a game that's like Battle of Excel, which you have to like play many hours to actually build up something, you know. But yeah, I never really seen this like whole controversial like who cares, you know? Who cares? He pays somebody play his account or keep up with his account. Like gacha players do it all the time. You know, there's like professional or like content creators that like play certain games or gachas, or they keep up with certain gachas, but whenever there's nothing going on, they have like this guy, you know, they hire and they play their game for them to like do dailies and stuff every single day. Like, you know, I don't see how people are so upset about it. I really don't.
Way. Then Mark Kern replies that with this article saying Assassin's Creed Shadows isn't the hit Ubisoft desperately needs, analyst says. And then the Assassin's Creed account replies again saying, our game is out.
Yeah, with effort. With postponing it 2 times. With it being leaked because your management fucked up and shipped out the game before they actually supposed to be shipped out. Yeah. Ubisoft is a shit show. It's just how it is.
Referring to the fact that Mark Kern has a crowdfunded game that he has not completed yet. So yes, looking at these replies and the interactions.
Okay. So there's a crowdfunded game that's not been released. So he's making a game on its own, I'm assuming. Or maybe a small team. Is that the diss? Is that the diss that, oh, well, our game is out that is made by millions of people, or not millions, but like is made by millions of dollars. Yeah, wow, good flex, man. Jesus.
I mean, they made some good burns. Like, I can say this game is not very good, and I can also say these were good burns, right, of Elon and Mark Kern. There's no denying
it's all right.
that, but this is what it really shows me. It's that Assassin's Creed, Shadows, and Ubisoft have taken off the gloves, but not in a good way. Okay, when you're resorting to feuding with people on Twitter as an account and a company like this, I think...
Oh, wait, hold up. No. Hold on. No, you can't be, you can't not, like, be hypocritical now, alright? Because you're damn sure, alright? Whenever a game company or a game did the same exact thing, if it was against people that you didn't like, you would be applauding this. Alright? You would be applauding this. Like, holy shit, this game roasted this guy, this hater. Like let's keep it fair here, okay? Come on. I
think you've lost the plot, alright? And the sad reality of this is, there's more people interacting with these replies from the Assassin's Creed Shadows account than there are people interacting with Assassin's Creed Shadows.
True.
The numbers are not looking good. Right now, 35,000 in-game players. It's plateaued for the day already. It's a lower peak than yesterday. That's the trend over the past couple of days. And only a week after its release, it's already about halved its player count, which is insane to think about for an Assassin's Creed title like this. And also it goes to show you people on Twitter are full of it. There was hundreds, if not thousands of people saying just because of those interactions, they were going to go out and buy Assassin's Creed Shadows. Well,
maybe 4 people did. Maybe 10.
Made absolutely no difference whatsoever, and the downward trend has continued. Now, I pointed out a response to this saying the game is out, and I said so is Schedule 1, which is crushing Assassin's Creed Shadows in concurrent player numbers right now. And then people were coping in the proposed community notes, saying stuff that's completely unrelated to anything I said, but that's just cope from people who are defending Ubisoft.
It's... What? How is that? Who cares if it's not... Bro, also, Inzoi is going to surpass Assassin's Creed as well. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure, bro. Like, that's the brand new, like, Sims kind of game, bro. Ubisoft is sweating. I already know it. But, yeah. How is this not... What? How is this not relevant? Like, this one is above Assassin's Creed, so...
And today, things have gotten even worse. Look at the player number for Schedule 1. 141,000 players versus 35,000 with Shadows. A complete crushing of the competition.
100k, isn't that like more than the max cap of Shadows?
And then people cope and say, well, wait a second, Schedule 1's only $17. Well, yeah, so is the price of a Ubisoft Plus subscription, which is how most people are playing that game. So I think it is somewhat comparable. And mainly it just shows that a random game like this can overtake a big title like Assassin's Creed.
What even is the game about?
Absolutely.
Schedule 1?
I think there's something
what the hell
said there. But this is the other part of the video I want to talk about. A major set of crash outs from a YouTuber named Fightin Cowboy. So this clip went viral. I noticed this when it happened back about a week ago, shortly after the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows. This guy is a gaming content creator, and someone came into his chat, I guess a couple people, talking about LazyKing and how he's black and they don't want to see this game and all this stuff. And he crashes out for 2 minutes here in a profanity-laced rant where he's just going off on these people. And he got a lot of support, but he also started to get a lot of criticism, which he felt the need to address. Now, who is this guy, right? He's the Fightin Cowboy. In my own definition here, I'd say more like fleeing soy boy, because he doesn't have that much fight in him, right? I mean, he's blocking pretty much everyone.
Oh. Oh. I mean, a good fighter avoids fights, right? You know?
One who dares to criticize Ubisoft. I've never interacted with this guy before. In fact, I didn't know who he was until this crash out, and that's not...
Yeah, but he knew what you were. Because you're bigger than him. He knows you. That's the difference.
Me thumbing my nose at the guy. He's obviously successful. He has like 1.5 million subs on YouTube. Clearly, he's a successful creator. I just haven't come across him until this moment. And he would respond...
Wait, 1.5 million? How much does Rev have? 700k? Oh, what the fuck? Okay.
...to everything going on with a 30-minute stream on YouTube. I was not aware of this until today. I don't really know.
That's a long stream, bro.
Radar. But his response to everything, the crash out...
You could have just made a video, bruh. 30 minutes? For a stream? 30 minutes? I make videos longer than that shit, bruh. My reactions are longer than that shit.
And the criticism people have given
what the hell?
Is a hard watch. This is a hard watch of a video where basically this guy demonstrates himself as the most clear-cut example of a real-life NPC I've ever seen. Basically, he goes by the motto of shut up and consume products. Where in this video, he basically tries to gaslight everyone watching into believing that all criticism of this game is just the work of grifters. In fact, he goes a step further and tries to claim that the current issue...
Yeah, but the problem... Bro, listen, I understand, you know, people want to claim that the criticism on Assassin's Creed Shadows is grifting, like grifting opinions. But the majority of us people are actually criticizing Ubisoft. We're not even criticizing the game. We're criticizing Ubisoft for promoting the game with a memorial statue. For promoting the game, or for trying to release the game on a incredibly sensitive date for the Japanese population. Like, it's just they've been very stupid for a company that has a team that should be avoiding these stupid issues by doing research, but they just didn't do that research. They stole a flag to put in the game. Like, it's just all these issues that Ubisoft has done surrounding Assassin's Creed Shadows. That's where the most criticisms come from. Yeah, you can say, oh, yeah, there's people saying, oh, LazyKing Black's weird, stupid, because it is. But, you know, the biggest complaints I've seen is the fact that their Ubisoft is doing very insensitive marketing. They're very insensitive towards the Japanese people, to the Japanese culture. Like, that's the biggest issue most people have. Also, on top of that, Ubisoft hasn't made a good game for like years. You know? Like, they keep getting worse. The microtransactions keep getting higher. The game price keep getting higher. Like, you can't, it's not balanced anymore. You know? That's the issue. People don't like Ubisoft anymore because they're not making good games. They're getting more expensive. They're filling the game to the brim with fucking microtransactions, or more like macro transaction, bro. Because that shit, they're not micro anymore, bro. Them shits are huge. 32 like for like in-game completionist shit or something. Like, what the fuck, bro? It's crazy.
Issues with the gaming industry, the reason it's in the state that it is not because of studios. It's not because of consultants or activists in the field. It's not because of consumers who keep supporting slop. It's all because of grifters, aka people he disagrees with, aka anyone who has the nerve to criticize companies like Ubisoft, which is a very funny statement to say if he truly believes it, because he's basically labeling a handful of people, a couple handfuls of people, as probably the most powerful forces in the gaming industry. If a few dozen YouTubers who criticize the gaming industry can actually damage it and lead it into the state that it is now, wow, that is a powerful group of human beings right there. But it's, of course, copium for a guy who's trying to shield these companies from criticism while gaslighting his viewers.
I don't get that, man. You consume their products. You pay money. Like, this is your money, bro. If anything you should be critical of is what you spend your money on, and what the companies and people surrounding that product that you're buying or consuming are doing with your money. Like, I don't get this, man. I really don't.
Into believing some of the most ridiculous things about recent gaming controversies. And I want to start off with this clip right here, because this really gives you a good taste of what this guy
oh boy
is all about.
Here we go.
Prepare yourself, by the way.
And then, of course, your typical grifters, they like to make up bullshit. You know, oh, woke leftist Cowboy is, I don't know, shilling for Ubisoft and blah, blah, blah. Because none of them actually have a point to stand on. They're all little, you know, weak-willed men that like...
He's belittling people. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a very good tactic to disregard people's opinions and takes by making them seem insignificant. Yeah, very good gaslighting topic.
To hide behind avatars or made-up names.
I'm not hiding, bro. I don't have a avatar. Sure, I have a name, right? But my name is... I think it's literally my bio, so... you know? Like, I'm not hiding behind shit, bro. But, you know, continue.
And they don't actually stand on business. They don't.
I don't.
They don't stand at all. I can't imagine most of these people are active. They probably don't go to the gym. They probably don't.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm already contradicting every single one of this guy's points, by the way. Anyway, continue.
Don't work out. They probably just sit inside all day and hide. But that's
all right. Well, that's true. I only go to the gym. Outside of that, I don't really leave the house. All right. 1 point. You got 1 point. Yeah. Sure.
It's beyond the point. Okay.
Basically, anytime he says anything, he ends it with, but that's beyond the point. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack there, right? So we begin with a whole lot of projection and this whole thing about working out making your opinion more valid. Like, because he...
You know what? We're watching the video. I don't care. This video gonna be long. Who cares? Let's discuss the crash out. Here we go. Does he link it? And no. Okay. Why didn't you link it, sir? That would have been very cool of you. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, let's just, Fightin Cowboy without the G. Alright. Fightin Cowboy. Alright, here we go. There you go. Oh, he played Kazan. Nice. I still need to play that too. All right. Here it is. We got the video. All right. Let's go. Here we go, baby. Here we go. Let me save that so I don't forget. There you go. Perfect.
What is happening, y'all?
Hello. What's good?
We're gonna have a bit of a different stream today.
Why is this 1400 p 14840p, but the shit looks awful? What the fuck? All right, whatever. Imagine I have such an expensive mic, and I have a good fucking webcam, bro. What?
Just got some lunch, but things have been pretty spicy since the Assassin's Creed stream, and your typical. Well, first and foremost, let me say there has been a huge amount of support and people in agreement, and really appreciate that. It's nice to know I'm not the only one who is tired of all this bullshit.
Yeah, I agree. I'm definitely tired of all this bullshit that these gaming companies are pulling, making games that the majority of gamers do not like, making games about woke topics that nobody wants to fucking hear about, making games surrounding the fact that it is all pumped full of fucking microtransactions. Yeah, I'm definitely tired of that. Yeah, I agree. I'm 100% agreeing. But that's not his point. That's not his point, because he sees all of those things as good, you know? So we're in disagreement on that.
But then, you know, your typical grifters went and picked the story up. Now there's all sorts of dumb made-up bullshit floating around. So I figured...
Dumb made-up bullshit, okay.
Let's discuss. Let's make it a... I mean, hell, we can make it an open invitation for anyone that actually wants to try and stand on business.
There we go.
Making up little bullshit to help get their viewers angry.
Fair.
But regardless, let's talk. Let's talk about what happened. Now, for those that were not here the other day, we were playing Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Yeah.
And at the part of the stream we were at, Yasuke was on screen. Now, for those that don't know, Yasuke is a historical figure in Japanese history. He was brought over by the Portuguese and then taken by Nobunaga. Now, there's...
He was a slave.
Obviously, a lot of iffy records about what happened back then. Some people say he was a retainer. Some people say he was raised up to a samurai. Regardless...
He was a retainer. The Japanese have collectively agreed upon that he was a retainer. Why don't you just, you know, accept that? I think that's very insensitive of you to disregard the opinion of the Japanese people. But hey, these are the same people that, you know, are on the side of inclusion, right? They're all about inclusion. Yet they are very ignorant about the majority of the stuff that's happening surrounding this whole stuff.
I'm not here to talk about that. Okay?
All right.
That's
smart, because you can talk about that, because you can't prove it. And the moment that you disregard the Japanese opinion, you're being a fucking insensitive asshole. So yeah, it's smart to not talk about that. It's very smart.
That's beyond the point. Because Assassin's Creed has always been historical fiction. Okay?
Yeah. Fair.
We never actually punched a pope. We never
True.
actually fucking had flying machines. That shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, but they kind of, you know, they're really bastardizing the Japanese history, right? And you know, as the American studio that you are, it's fine doing that with like these European and like American kind of societies, right? Because we're used to it. We're used to being, you know, making fun of, you know, bastardizing global issues or history. But the Japanese are very prideful folk. They're very prideful. They're very, like, they really, you know, are proud of their culture, the heritage. And you have insulted them by doing what they did. And they're not sorry for it either. You know, like, they stole a flag, put it in the game. They had to apologize for that. They promoted the game with a memorial statue that was from the bombing that the USA did on them, Pearl Harbor. Like, it's just, it's very interesting to me that these people are all about, I'm generalizing this, all right? I don't know this man, all right? I'm assuming his stance on things, all right? Just, if it's not true, let me know. But the same people like this are, they advocate for all, like, this inclusion. But it's just not it. It's just not it.
But so we have people in stream. There were 2 comments in particular that popped up. We had
wow, 2 comments. He had 2 comments. Okay.
I guess this is the new 2K, and then better make sure
that's a funny joke. You can't lie. You can't lie. That's a good joke.
The black guy doesn't pull out the Glock.
That's also a good joke. That's also a good joke. Yep.
Both those people got timed out. And then we had other comments that I'm not.
That's your prerogative.
There's some comments that I have pinned on Blue Sky that were just outright racism. Like, just slur.
Blue Sky is full of racism. It's just like TikTok. All anti-white.
And those, thankfully, those get held. Those don't even make it into chat because we got filters. And if you somehow are like, no, nobody could be making slurs about Assassin's Creed, like, bro, go on Twitter.
No one's gonna say that, bro. Everyone knows that.
Look up Assassin's Creed Shadows and type the slur of your choice into that search bar, and you will see what I'm talking about. So,
nice.
In that moment, we were playing the game, and we weren't even playing yet. We were basically in the opening cutscene, and we had people that were upset specifically about the existence of a black guy in a Japanese setting. This had nothing to do with Ubisoft's microtransactions, had nothing to do with optimization, had nothing to do with the setting. It was simply black dude in a Japanese game.
Yeah. Because it's weird, it's stupid. It makes no sense. The only reason why I did it was to push an agenda. Like, listen, I say this a lot, but it's not the mess. Jesus, what the fuck? I don't know what's wrong with my throat right now. Anyway, it's not the message. It's the messenger, all right? The moment the messenger has an active agenda against or for something that we have seen multiple times now, that's when it becomes annoying, problematic, and, just something we're not accepting, right? So the whole thing about, like, Yasuke being a black samurai, right? I think if any other studio made it, there's gonna be people hating it, obviously. There's always going to be racists that will do that, right? But the reason that Ubisoft made Yasuke, the main character, a black samurai, is why most people are upset about it. Because we know how Ubisoft thinks. And, if they didn't put the woman in the game either, people would have been very mad, even more mad than they are now. At least they can ignore Yasuke. You don't have to play as him, right? But still. And I'm not even talking about the story or, like, the story developments that you can do in the game. Like, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about the perspective about how Ubisoft operates, how their politics are integrated into the games, and it just doesn't make sense. Because listen, man, I understand that they want to be like, they want to put a black guy in Japan, right? I think they could have done this, right? I think they could have done this. But I don't think they did it the right way. I don't think they should have made him this, like, irrelevant, insignificant retainer from Japan, and then make him, like, this very important guy all of a sudden. That doesn't make sense. Maybe you could have been like, I don't know, bro is from Africa and he travels to Japan or something. I don't fucking know, And obviously that doesn't make sense in time zones or whatever, but you could have made a whole, like, you could have literally made like a whole Last Samurai kind of stuff, right? You could have done that, but they didn't. They decided to rewrite history, or the in-game history, right? To make what they made today. And I don't think it's reasonable to disregard people's opinion and criticism about that. I think that's very unreasonable.
And we called that out. We said, get the fuck out. If you don't like it here, fucking leave. Everyone is tired of listening to this shit. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, I agree.
And of course, your typical grifters, they like to make up bullshit. You know, oh, woke leftist Cowboy is, I don't know, shilling for Ubisoft and blah, blah, blah. Because none of them actually have a point to stand on. They're all little, you know, weak-willed men that like to hide behind avatars or made-up names. And they don't actually stand on business. They don't. They probably don't stand at all. I can't imagine most of these people are active. They probably don't go to the gym. They probably don't work out.
Yeah, I already reported this. I mean, I'll show it again, but, you know, I do go to the gym. All right.
Probably just sit inside all day and hide. But that's beyond the point, okay? Let's give the grifters a break for a second. So what actually happened is we had people that were upset about a black guy on the screen, and they were called out. They were called out live, and that needs to happen more. Now, why did I get so fucking angry? Let's talk about it. Because, bro, it's obnoxious. It's obnoxious. I mean, like, for real, let's talk about the last year in gaming.
Okay.
Fucking Stellar Blade drama. Because
why was there Stellar Blade drama? Oh yeah, because people couldn't accept that a beautiful woman auditioned to be a real life model in the game. Yeah.
There was a titty window added. Oh, they're censoring. They're taking away the gooning. Elden Ring drama. Because, oh, they hid it behind a boss. They hid it behind a fucking boss and it's too expensive.
What? What is it? Am I missing something? Oh, of course. Yeah. You have to yeah. Okay. No, you have to first play the game before you can play a DLC. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. People were upset about that. I remember. Yeah, that was stupid.
Fucking, let me actually, I could probably come up with drama for every fucking game we had, I bet. Let me pull up a playlist of the last year. The fact that it was a Ukrainian studio, so that got a bunch.
Oh, what?
Stalker 2, people were upset just because the fact that it was a Ukrainian studio, so that got a bunch of shit. Dragon Age, people were upset that there was a character who went by they, them in the game.
No, people were upset on Dragon Age because it was a garbage game.
So that got a bunch of shit. We had fucking Avowed, which came out. People were upset.
Avowed was a garbage game too.
About Avowed because the existence of pronouns was offensive. We had people that were upset about KCD because there was a single gay relationship you could have in the game.
KCD? I don't know what KCD is.
And now people are upset about Shadows because there's gay stuff and a black guy. And honestly, and this is the fun thing. This is the fun thing, right? If y'all have friends that don't watch streams, if y'all have friends that just play video games, they don't fuck with social media, ask them about this shit. Be like, yo, did you hear about the Stellar Blade drama? Did you hear about the Assassin's Creed drama? And most...
No, they're not gonna hear about that because they have different things. People choose to be engaged into this. People choose to be informed about drama, you know? Most people just like, you know, it's like whenever people watch drama reality shows, you know? It's kind of the same thing.
Most of them are gonna be like, what are you talking about? Is the game, is it bad? And you're like, no, there's a black samurai and you can bang Nobunaga's sister. They're gonna look like Walter White in that Breaking Bad meme where they're like, Jesse, what the fuck are you talking about? Normal people don't get upset about this shit. Okay? This is a manufactured issue in the online space by grifters.
Oh, yep. Because all people that criticize games or game studios are grifters, yeah. Very good disregard to valid opinions and criticisms, yeah. He's again diminishing the significance of the people that disagree with him. Very good tactic.
Now I'm doing this. I'm trying to present an olive branch, because there's a lot of people that are coming into the comments leaving dumb shit. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think you're all mentally ill. I think
wow. Wow. Crazy. That's a crazy statement, bro. I don't think all of you are mentally ill. Wow, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
A lot of y'all have been lied to.
Oh, I've been lied to.
A lot of people that are getting riled up by these grifters. I think you're just looking for someone to reach out to, and you don't know that you're having smoke blown up your ass by people that profit off your outrage.
What? 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 Okay, sure, man. Okay. Yeah.
And so I'm doing this video to try and fucking give y'all a hand. I'm trying to reach out and be like, listen, come back to fucking reality, bro. Come back to reality.
Okay.
And the reality is, people are fed up with the bitching. And you're gonna say,
agreed. Yeah.
Cowboy, they made the games woke. No, they didn't. We had this shit all the way back in the day. You had gay relationships in Mass Effect.
Yeah, but those are aliens. Different. That's a nuance, in my opinion.
Choose your gender in RPGs as long as games have been around, bro.
Yeah, male and female, not type 1 and type 2.
Like, this isn't new. It's not.
It is new because the agendas have changed. The whole social the social economics has changed. There's now a massive uprise of people being engaged in politics because of social media, because it's so accessible to people. Also, considering topics have never ever in the history of politics ever been this relevant to people's day-to-day lives, because, well, social media, right? So the reason why this is a whole debate and the whole an issue in most people's view is because people are fed up with both sides, the left, the right. They hate each other. All right, they hate each other for the same reasons. Because one side says, I'm right, you're wrong. The other side says, I'm right, you're wrong, right? So it's a conflict. It's a constant conflict between two sides butting heads, right? And obviously social media, you know, there's definitely some people that should definitely seek some mental help, all right? They should definitely seek some mental help. Like, the unhinged shit I've seen is, it's embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie. For both the right and the left, it's 100% embarrassing. But the reason why people are upset about these things is because we see gaming become terrible. They've been getting awful, and it's not like, oh, it's just the natural progression. No, look at the games that come from Asia, bruh. These are the games that people be playing now. These are the people these are the games that people are praising because it has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with politics because people are sick and tired of politics. You know? And then when you want to try to relax, you know, wind back, play a game, they don't want to see that shit, bruh. And if you don't see that, I'm sorry, man. Like, you're just not well informed.
Some secret fucking agenda that people are pushing out there. What's really happening is, as a society, we're making progress.
Are we now?
More inclusivity. We're seeing more diversity.
Yeah, but inclusivity and mental illness glorification is not the same thing. I'm not saying that trans people shouldn't exist, But I'm also not saying that trans people should be the main focus, or they should be like put on a pedestal. They're just humans, just like me and you, you know? And same with people that are a different race. They're just human like you and me. You know, it's not that I'm saying that they shouldn't exist. I'm just saying that they should be put on a pedestal. They shouldn't get special privileges or advantages in life. It's just... The media is also just very, like, obsessed with, like, putting these people on pedestals. And the fact that whenever you criticize somebody, even if it has nothing to do with their being trans or black, you're called all sorts of labels for it because they assume that you're just that label. They disregard your whole opinion or your whole criticism just because of that. Like, that's just straight up ignorance. Like, literally, was like a headline of a trans person killing someone, and the news said their pronouns wrong. Are you retarded? Are you retarded? Literally. People got mad that this person got wrongfully addressed. Bro, he killed someone. I don't care if he thinks he's a girl, an alien, or a fucking telephone pole. That motherfucker doesn't even deserve human rights, in my opinion, bruh. Let alone the right to be not misgendered. Get the fuck out, bro. That's the problem. These whole mental gymnastics that people have to go through just to not offend the sensitive left. It's crazy. But we are the side that's wrong. Because we want normalcy. Yeah, sure. Makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah.
I'm a big straight white dude. Looking at this chat, I would guess probably a fraction of the people in this chat are big straight white dudes. All right? I had to say this before, but the world isn't big straight white dudes. There's more than that. And we're seeing representation for those people. So that
yeah, but a black guy shouldn't be in Japan, bro. He shouldn't be in Japan. It just doesn't make sense. People were very excited when they heard that Assassin's Creed was gonna go in Japan. They're gonna be about Japan, like, and then to get slapped into the face. Oh, yeah, well, you're playing a black guy. Like, what the fuck, bruh? What's wrong with you? Like, why didn't you make an African game where you have a main character that's black? Like, it makes no sense, dude. And that happened in fucking GTA, bruh. Nobody was upset that you could play as Franklin in GTA 6 or 5. People loved Franklin. People still do. White, black, Asian, whatever, bruh. Nobody was an issue. Most people liked Franklin the most. Like, Ubisoft just did something wrong. It's just how it is. People need to accept it. This was a stupid, dumb idea. People want to be in a Japanese environment and playing as a Japanese samurai. It makes so much sense, but yet these people just don't think. They only want to push their agendas. They only want to push this whole equality bullshit. How about you just make a fun game? We had Black Myth Wukong. That shit was about a monkey wielding a staff. Everyone fucking loved that game. Like, it's not that hard to make a good video game, a fun video game. Like, this is just dumb. It's just very stupid. It was a very dumb idea to do.
They can see some shit in media and be like, yo, that's cool. I relate to this character. Now,
that's bullshit. That's so dumb. And I keep saying this bullshit, bro. Like, oh, she looks like me. No. They don't care. Alright? Looking at the Dragon Ball community. That shit is full of black dudes. Is Goku black? No, he's not. He's an alien. He's a Saiyan. He has pale skin. But they still relate to him. They still love him. just like I do. It's this thing is so dumb, man. Oh, they can relate because they look like me. No, that doesn't fucking matter, bro. It doesn't fucking matter. It's the dumbest reason, bruh. Same with like making Ariel black. That was a ginger, bruh. That was an Irish like inherited fucking ginger, bruh. Like, but that made her black for no reason. You know, this is the problem. They want to be inclusive, but with inclusion comes with being anti-white. And you can't deny that because it's the truth. Alright? Now, obviously, there's people that care about the inclusion and are not anti-white, and I'm fine with that, right? But a lot of people are anti-white. And you're literally on the side that hates you. You know? The moment that you disagree on anything, they hate you. The moment you're not fully agreeing with whatever they say, they hate you. They're saying that you're a fraud. That you're just they're just lying. Like, these people don't like you. They only accept you because they think that you agree with them. The moment you stop agreeing with them, they disregard you in the community. We've seen this like with a bunch of other communities, like the fat at every size movement, or fat at every size, health at every size movement. Remember when like the Adele started losing weight, and they started hating on her because of it? Like, all these communities do the same, man. They all do. They all do the same.
This might go a little bit off tangent, but like, some people seem to forget, like, America was fucking built on diversity, bro. Like, yeah, given the Pilgrims came over and completely fucked over the Native Americans and took land.
They lost. Back then it was eat or be eaten. We're civilized now. It's different. I hate this stupid opinion about, oh, well, they kill people. Yeah, duh. That was the thing back then. People killed people. Everyone did. It's just different now. We have laws established. We have established laws. We have morals that changed over the years. Values that have changed over the years. Like, it's such a stretch, man. It's so dumb. It was hundreds of years ago.
But what evolved into America is people from everywhere. We had people from Poland. We had people from Germany. We had people coming from the Caribbean. We had people coming from Africa. We had people coming from Asia. America is literally a melting pot of different nationalities, different religions, different diversities. That's what our country was fucking built on, man.
Yeah, but it's failing. It's failing. There is a lot of racism on every side, okay? This is not just a black or a white hating black issue. This is a black hating white issue. This is just racism in general. But one side can be racist, the other one can't be. That's already a problem. Alright? And I don't want to, dissect every single issue that is socially a problem in America. And it's slowly but surely getting like shipped overseas, and it's like becoming an issue in Europe now too. Like, but I don't see how people don't understand that for a melting pot, like for something very simple, right? There's such a thing as white people can't wear braids, right? Now, if you would say, oh yeah, I don't want you to wear braids because, it would damage your hair. That's fine, right? I understand that. I think that's a very valid advice. But it's not about caring about the white person that wants dreads or braids or whatever. No, it's because they hate white people. they want to keep their culture to themselves, right? Even though cultures are meant to be shared. That's how you create a cohesive ecosystem. You share, right? It's just like, and then they say, oh, well, white people don't have culture. You're living in white culture, bruh. White culture built this country. Like, what are you talking about? They built the houses. They designed pretty much everything. And especially if you go to Europe, that shit is built on white culture, bro. Europe is white culture. Like, it's just so dumb to me. Like, yes, I do understand that you're supposed to have a melting pot. But some sides, and I'm not excluding them or saying that all of them think the same, but there's a massive part of the black community that does not, and I repeat, does not want to be cohesive. They want to be segregated. They advocated for it, for God's sakes. They want black only space. Like, do you realize? Anyway, this is getting too long. You know, I don't want to make this video too long, but we're already running on 50 minutes. So let's go. Come on, continue.
Now we're upset that everything isn't straight white Christian male. Like, it doesn't make sense, dude.
No, it's not the issue, and I'm not gonna evaluate. I'm not gonna talk more about that because then I'll be here for like 4 more hours.
It doesn't make sense. Why? Like, what is so fucking upsetting about the fact that there's other kind of people besides you out there? And if that is upsetting, like, dude, you need to expand your worldview. All right, take a vacation out of your fucking state. Go overseas, experience a different culture, and I promise you, it will broaden your horizon in ways you didn't think of before.
Yeah, I agree. Very good advice. I think people should be more open-minded about different cultures, different races, different people. Yeah, I agree.
There is more to your world than what is in the small town where you live right now.
Yep.
And seeing different cultures is fucking cool. I did my honeymoon in Japan. I loved it. I walked the 1,000 gates in Kyoto, the shrines that were a point of drama in Assassin's Creed, which I will talk about that. But like, I got to see all that, and it gave me a whole new level of respect for Japanese culture. It was an amazing trip. Maybe
the devs for Ubisoft should have visited Japan before they made what they made. Maybe they would have known that the memorial statue should not be used as a promotional material for their game. You know?
Like, you should be looking to embrace other cultures and other ideologies and use that to expand your own worldview.
Yeah, but the issue is whenever white people do, they're being called, let's see if I have this right, cultural insensitive, or they're stealing culture. You know, you can win. You can embrace all sorts of different cultures, but the moment you do, you're called culturally sensitive and that you are stealing their culture. Like, as much as I'm assuming most people want to coexist, there's just a big party that just makes sure that that just doesn't happen. You know? And I'm not saying that it's only a black community issue. There's also a lot of white community issue about, you know, not wanting to coexist. I 100% acknowledge that, you know?
Because that's only going to improve you as a person. Now, so why did I go on a rant? Why did I go on a fucking rant? Because honestly, I'm fed up with this.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, you know? Eventually, you know, it's just it only takes one drop to let the bucket overfill, you know? Like, sometimes people just, you know, they just have enough. They crash out. They have with a meltdown, and sometimes it's good, screaming, being frustrated, letting out your anger on something that you're frustrated with. That's healthy.
Like I said, I've seen this shit. This is it's a non-issue for people that aren't in the online space.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a valid reason. Ignorance is not acceptance. Just because some people don't care doesn't mean it doesn't matter. Alright? A lot of people didn't care about the feelings of slaves. Alright? But that doesn't mean that nobody should have done anything against it. It's very telling, You just like you're almost there. You're almost there. Almost.
But as somebody that's in the online space every day, streaming, reading the comments, interacting on socials, it's nonstop, bro.
Oh, so you're a grifter. Right? You make money out of this. Right? So, aren't you a grifter? Or it doesn't count for you because you're on the good side, right? Right? Yeah, right.
And to take an example, like imagine you used to go to karaoke every Friday night, okay? I love karaoke.
Okay.
Every Friday night we're doing karaoke. And then one Friday you go and there's a guy in the corner at a table and he's just shitting his pants all night. And you're like, that's fucking weird. Hopefully he doesn't come over to us. And every other Friday, he keeps getting closer. He keeps getting closer. And eventually all of your friends are like, why does the guy that smell like shit coming to our fucking table? And he's like, do you also want to shit your pants? That's what it fucking feels like.
What is this analogy, bro? This makes no sense. I like his fantasies, all right, or his imaginations. I mean, but that makes no sense, bro.
Because it used to be y'all were out doing something you enjoyed, you were having fun, and now it's some other person that wants to ruin the fun.
Oh, you're so close. Oh, come on. You're so close. You just need to connect the dots. You just need to connect the dots, man. You just need to. It's one. It's just one stroke. One stroke away, man. One stroke. Come on. Come on.
Mr. Piss Pants over here is coming in to ruin the fun. Because if he has to smell like shit, he wants all of y'all to also smell like shit.
Yes! Oh my god! Yes! Oh, he finally gets it! Oh, okay, let's go. He finally gets it, boys. He finally gets it, chat. He finally understands why people don't like woke. Wow! I can't believe this. Wow.
And that's what I'm talking about. Like, why would you seek out to be the guy that smells like piss?
Yes!
And you shouldn't. Your first thought should be like, I don't want to be the fucking guy that smells like piss.
Yes!
But guess what? The people online that like to engage in this drama, they profit off of you being the guy that smells like piss.
Yes! Oh, he gets it, man. Oh my god, he finally gets it. Oh, wow. We finally agree. We finally agree. The only difference is the person that shits their pants are you guys. It's you guys that we don't want. And just like I said before, we are the guys that you don't want. So technically we're both shitting and pissing our pants. We're both that person, bruh. It's just perspective.
Yes. They make money off of you being fucking angry and engaging in this never-ending fucking hate machine. That is what they want. Like, does that make you upset? Knowing there's people who they pay their bills. They are making money. They're making fucking stacks right now because you're being pissed off at something that really you don't fucking care about.
Why would you be pissed off about something you don't care about? That makes no sense, dude. Hate is a very powerful emotion. It's like almost the same strength as love. The moment that hate is formed, that's like one of the most intensive emotions that a human being can muster, can concur or conjure. Like, hate is a very strong emotion, bro. People don't just hate because they don't care, bro.
I don't care about baseball, basketball. I watch football occasionally, but like, you don't see me. I'm not getting mad at other sports.
Yeah, because you don't care. You don't care. That's why. Your analogy would be people cared or don't care about it, but they still would be getting mad. They don't.
I'm not going to fucking baseball games being like, fuck baseball. This sport is fucking boring. You sit in the stands, somebody hits a ball, and you run.
Yeah, but that's not the same thing, bruh. This is not your interest. Games are their interest. And they're seeing games decrease in value in more ways than one. This is not some, oh, I don't really play or watch baseball. No, they've been playing baseball their entire goddamn lives. And all of a sudden, they decide to take away the ball. The game stops being fun. Like, I don't... this guy is so close to getting it. It's just he doesn't try to step into somebody's other shoes. He doesn't try to, like, put his mind into the other's perspective. You know? Like, he thinks that every single one that, like, criticizing Ubisoft and the game are grifters, are just haters, that just are mindless. No, we all have our different perspective on things. You are the guy shitting your pants that's coming closer to us. You know, it's just, I don't get how he understands. Like, he's a clever guy, all right? I can tell he has a brain, all right? He has a good set of brains. He can understand logic. He understands some psychology, right? I can see that from what they're saying, but it's just he can't place himself into the other's perspective. He can't do it, or he refuses to do it. You know?
No. Why would I fucking spend my energy being upset about something that I don't enjoy? We're all gonna fucking die someday, bro. Whether you like it or not, one day we're all gonna be in the fucking ground. Every single person here, unless you're a goddamn pharaoh, we're all gonna be in the ground eating the same fucking dirt and turn into nutrients for worms and plants.
Oh, well, then why care about anything at all? Why not just murder everyone? Why not just go kill and, you know, steal shit? Such a dumb fucking statement, bro. Like, oh, well, we're all gonna die anyway, so why care? Like, what? That's so... Oh, God.
So why are you spending your time on this earth getting upset at something you don't want to engage with? Why? Because you could spend that energy doing something else. You could read a book. I just read the entirety of Solo Leveling. Fucking loved it.
Yo! Let's go! That's huge. That's valid. That's valid. Hell yeah.
Absolute peak webtoon. Loved every second of it.
Damn right.
Going to the gym. You could be getting fucking jacked.
Yeah.
You know with how much bigger I've gotten, bro.
Damn right.
Go back like 4 years on the channel. I didn't used to be this big. I fucking powerlift 3 days a week. I got a trainer. I ate right. Put your energy to that.
I already do. Imagine that. Imagine that. Here, let me give you a better perspective, you know. Look, I already do. Look, I already do, bro. I'm not really that skinny right now, though, but I already do. And I still get bothered by this shit, bruh. I still put my energy in this shit. Oh, but he'll probably call me a drifter for this, though. You know, I'm a grifter because, you know, I make like $20 a month. Yeah, totally, man. Totally.
Fucking big. Buy a greatsword and pretend your guts in your backyard. You could be doing that shit. But instead, you're spending time being angry at shit that you're not going to engage with, bro. Like, why? Why?
Yeah, that's, again, it doesn't make sense because the people that are upset about this, or the majority of people that are upset about this, are either have consumed previous Ubisoft games in their, like, back in their years, or, you know, recently, or they're a fan of the Assassin's Creed series and they see it slowly going downhill. You know, it's just, or they just, you know, enjoy gaming as a whole, and they see that gaming has become very very how you say this? Yeah, and very anti-fun, well, very anti-white male. That's definitely true. Went very anti-white straight male, but also just all this woke stuff. Like, most people just don't want that shit, man. They don't. They really don't. But I think Marvel Rivals is such a big game. And why do you think Overwatch is falling off? It's not only because the game has been terrible for years. Alright? Because you have fun in Overwatch. You can. Even if it's a bad game. Even if the balance is awful. I played that game so much. Jesus. I don't even know how long I played that game. But Marvel Rivals, they could have bad balancing, but whatever, right? But they're not like trying to like push this agendas. Like, they don't have they/them characters. They don't have some fucking gay ass character for no reason. They don't have, like, you know, they don't have all this shit that nobody gives a fuck about. Nobody wants that in their games. They just want the cool characters. That's why Concord failed so miserably. They didn't have cool characters. You know? And the reason why people get upset about they/thems and like pronouns is because they don't make sense, bro. They don't make sense. You don't get to choose your pronouns. You just don't get to. You're either born female or born male. And if you're male, you're he, him. And if you're female, you're she, her. There's no they/them. There's no sure whatever the fuck they thought of. Like, that's mental illness, bruh. That is deranged. People that think that should seek help. And that's the perspective that we have. I wanna enlighten you on the perspective that we have. We see these people pretending to be fucking cats and dogs, pretending to be like men and women when they're not. Like, we see all these people like pretend to be things and then impose that on us because they feel certain ways. It's just very annoying, you know? Like, just leave us alone. You want to be a cat? Go for it. Go for it. I'm gonna make fun of you 100% because that's weird, right? But go for it, all right? But just don't force me to believe and adhere because you think you're a cat, or you think you're a man when you're not, or a woman when you're not. Like, you know, it's just a lot of issues with it because logically and just it's just very confusing, And the fact that it just the only thing that changes is, oh well, I feel like this. Like, bro, I can feel like anything, right? I could feel like a fucking car if I wanted to. That doesn't make me a car, alright? That makes me deranged. That makes me unhinged. Like, I should be locked up in some fucking facility, bruh. Like, getting some mental help or some shit, man. Like, but the normalcy of mental illness is so rampant. And that's a big issue. And it's slowly corrupting gaming too now. You know? What used to be like silly, fun, weird things are now the things we're supposed to be finding normal. You know? That's just it, man.
Why? Why? I don't get it. Why? So anyway, so talking about a couple of the things I'm seeing, a couple of the comments. One, no, I obviously wasn't sponsored by Ubisoft to play Shadows. I've been playing fucking First Berserker Kazan and AI Limit for like the past 3 weeks.
Nice. I played a little bit AI Limit. I played a demo for both of them, for Kazan as well. I have it. I still want to play it, but I haven't really gone the time yet. I will though. I will soon. Yeah, that's cool.
Which I said like 3 weeks ago. I also said, I don't have time to cover Shadows in full. I will do a launch stream of Shadows, and then we're going to put that on hold while I get past other stuff, which is exactly what happened. I did one stream of Shadows. I said, hey, we're going to check this shit out today, see what it's like. Maybe we'll come back to it. But now this has turned into the, you know, oh, Cowboy is shilling for Ubisoft. They gave him the game. He's shilling. Bro, every goddamn game I play, I get given. This is going to sound entitled as fuck, but like when you're at a certain size on YouTube, it is more beneficial for them to just give you a game.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that. Yeah. Correct.
Like literally, I could go down my list. Monster Hunter, I was given a code for. Kazan, I was given a code for. Oh, actually, let me look through. I'm going to look through my review list, and I'll tell you. Fucking Ender Magnolia got a key. Avowed got a key. Dragon Age got a key. Black Myth got a key. Warhammer got a key. Erdtree got a key. Senua Saga got a tree. Rise of Ronin, Stellar Blade, Dragon's Dogma, Final Fantasy. Like,
Dragon Blade. Wait, what? Stellar Blade is not on Steam yet. I guess he has multiple.
you're giving keys.
Or consoles.
It doesn't suddenly mean you're fucking sponsored by the company. That means you're doing your work. It's the same as like a tech influencer that's given a fucking phone to do a review on the phone. They're not like, oh my God, a new phone. They're like, oh, this is work. Let me fucking talk about this phone. See what's good about it. So yeah, that point's fucking dumb. But some good boba. That's all beyond the point.
I wanna, you know, I just wanna make the joke again, but like, bro, he's like flexing about getting all these codes because she's so big on YouTube, right? He got like a fancy mic, but he can't get a proper 4K webcam or camera. You know, like, bro, come on, man. I don't know. I just think it's funny, man. I just think it's funny. Like, priorities, man. Like, you couldn't like make or get a better like quality cam, like, you know.
What we're talking about is Assassin's Creed. Now, so what happened? Like I said, people were being racist about Yasuke. We called that shit out.
Yeah, understandable.
And to be clear, outright, I don't care if you buy the game. Like I said, the next month, roughly, I'm going to be busy with Kazan because I'm probably going to be doing a walkthrough. I'm probably going to be doing a Get Good series. I haven't decided yet, but I'm kind of leaning between one of those two. So I don't even have the fucking time to play Shadows right now. It seemed okay. I mean, my early impression was probably like a 4 out of 5.
Wow. we agreed on something.
I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. Just seemed okay. Seemed good enough.
Good enough. I wouldn't say that.
But I don't care if you buy it or not. I don't get fucking paid if you buy it. Doesn't make a difference. I don't get not paid if you don't buy it. So I don't give a shit. Now, to address a couple of the talking points I'm seeing, because I'm seeing a lot of this shit. I'm seeing a lot of people that are like, the Japanese are upset about the game.
Yeah.
Just to put this in perspective, there was one Diet member in Japan that brought up AC Shadows at a parliamentary meeting, and he brought up that people could deface shrines, like Torii gates, in the game, and how that could promote basically vandalism in the tourist industry.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into what the PM said, this is the same level of logic as like Ronald Reagan being like, the video games are going to make the kids violent.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Because Japan has experienced a lot of annoying and bad tourism. It's like, since like, honestly, I would say since like Logan Paul's thing, like the tourism has started becoming worse. You know? Like this like black kids, Joey Somali or some shit. Obviously he was in China, I think, or something. But he was also in Japan, right? And he got kicked out. And he just all this bunch of bullshit. You know, and I think it's a valid concern to have because, you know, maybe it's not true. Maybe it's not gonna happen, right? But bringing it up is not a bad thing, you know. And defacing shrines is like that's insane. You know, that's holy almost. Like you can't do that shit, right? And obviously, you know, us Westerners don't really understand the whole like cultural significance of spiritualism in Japan that they have. They have a lot of like spiritualism in their cultures, right? We don't really have that, right? We just like call people that do that kind of shit like kukui and like, you know, very strange individuals. But in Japan, it's very normalized. Having a shrine, having like some good luck chime, or you know, like very spiritual and all that, right? And I think it's not bad for him to, you know, to actually address it. You know, I don't think that's bad at all.
If they can steal a car in GTA, they'll steal a car in real life. It's the same fucking logic, bro. Which is dumb.
No, I can't disagree. I disagree. Because they're living the life, bro. They're living the truth. And not terrorism. Tourism in Japan, they've had a lot of difficulties with a lot of tourism lately because more people trying to visit Japan. You know, because, you know, anime is very big in the West, or gotten very big in the West. People want to visit Japan to see what's up, right? But they don't understand the culture norms. They don't get the values. They're not respectful because Americans are pieces of shit. You know, they just don't. They're not considerate people. And obviously, it's a generalization, all right? There's definitely some, you know, there's definitely people in America that aren't like that, right? But the overall majority consensus over Americans is that they're rude, very self-centered, and overall very very bad tourists. All right, you can ask any country. American tourists are awful. Okay, they are.
Beyond that, the PM addressed it, which is the Prime Minister of Japan. He's like their equivalent of our president.
Mm-hmm.
And what he basically
so and if your president addressed something, it's not important. It's not. Like how does that make sense? Like what?
Said not the game, but he said obviously anybody that's looking to deface or destroy shrines is something that would be unacceptable.
Yeah.
And this is something that we would look into. You know, we would not stand for people coming into the country and defacing Japanese property.
Duh.
They didn't say this cannot stand in the game. The game, we will take down the game. And regardless of that,
no, of course not. But it's a valid concern to have. Because, like I said, the tourist problem has become very big in Japan.
Ubi actually fixed that shit. There was a day one patch that made it so you can't even fucking interact with the shrines. You can't climb on them. You can't hit them. You can't do that shit.
So they fixed it. They addressed it to make sure that it doesn't happen, and that they said they will punish people when they do it. And then Ubisoft was like, okay, well, if that's such a big concern, we'll take it out. Right? That's good. I can commend Ubisoft for doing that. So why is it a big issue then? That was good. That was good that he mentioned it, because it changed the game. And if you know anything about Japanese people, I mean, you've been to Japan, right? So I'm assuming you know a lot about their culture and stuff like that. But they are not very straightforward. They're not very, how you say it, aggressive. Even when there's something that they deeply dislike, they will be very careful in bringing it, right? So the Prime Minister saying that, you could say, well, maybe he said it exactly as he directed it, right? But he was upset about it. He was concerned about it. And because he spoke up, it got changed, and now the issue is less likely to happen. You know? I think it's not bad. I think it's fine that he did that.
But they were talking about tourism in Japan, because even when I was there on my honeymoon, there were people doing all sorts of fucked up dumb shit and not respecting the culture.
Yep.
Which is what Japan's point is.
Yeah.
If you're coming to the country, respect the culture. But instead, you have people that, despite being an influencer myself, a lot of fucking influencers, they're not all there up there, and they think they want to go to a fucking country and they want to act like a dickhead, and then they're surprised when the country kicks them out.
Yep.
So going back to my previous point about, like, yeah, travel the world, expand your worldview, be fucking respectful of cultures when you're there. Before I went to Japan, I took time to learn the basics of Japanese. I took time to, you know, my please and thank yous, ask for directions. I had a translation app on me. You know, if there was a no smoking area, I didn't fucking smoke there.
This is what we like, bro. Hell yeah. Like, in my opinion, that should be the bare minimum. If I ever, like, plan to visit, I don't fucking know. Let's say Italy. I'm not planning on that, but let's say I'm planning on visiting Italy, right? I would do the exact same thing that this guy did. You know, I would research culture, norms, stuff like that, you know, to not stand out. But that might be just my Dutch, you know, instincts, you know, to not stand out kind of in our culture. But yeah, that's good. Very good. Definitely a big compliment on that.
If I didn't have a trash can, I carried my garbage with me until I found one.
Yeah.
That's just common sense. This isn't about, you know, the game is disrespecting the culture. This is Japan making sure that anybody that wants to visit Japan based off of the game isn't going to be a dickhead.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. I don't like people that act like dickheads when they visit our country. Nobody should be visiting another country and act like a dickhead.
Bro, even the people that live there are dickheads, bro. Like, I don't care if you're a tourist or you live here, bro. Like, I really don't. I just don't see why people feel so comfortable being complete dickheads in real life. Wow, that might be the most fucking introverted shit ever. No, you know, like that, like in the open, like how can you? I don't know. I just can't do that. I'm not like that, you know?
But regardless of all that shit, at the end of the day, if you don't want to buy the game, don't fucking buy the game.
True. And if you want to buy the game, buy the game.
It's to the stream. If you're not interested in something, don't engage with it. Just don't.
yeah, that's not gonna help. That's not gonna work. People are gonna do whatever they please, and they are allowed to do whatever they please, and you are allowed to kick them out. I know it's very frustrating. I think it's very annoying if you get people in your chat like being bitches, but it's their right, unfortunately. You know, if they want to be a nuisance, then they can, right? But you have the upper hand. You can just, you can ban them, you can time them out, whatever, right? So, I understand that you would advise people not to do that, but the people that understand and hear your words and understand what you mean by the words, that's not the people that you're trying to reach. Those are not the people that are coming into your chat being nuisances, being dickheads. The people that are going to that don't listen to what you're saying, that have not watched this video for nearly 20 minutes now. Those are the people you're supposed to be reaching for that, and you're not gonna reach them. This message is not gonna reach their brains. And even if that reaches their brains, they don't give a fuck. Listen, man, you can reason with reasonable people. You cannot reason with people that are not reasonable. It's an immovable object. It's not movable. You can't affect it. And you're just wasting your time trying to convince these people to be decent human beings when they just don't. They're just not. Like, you can't educate them on ethics and on like normity and whatever, because they don't care. All right, you're not gonna reach them.
I mean, think about it. Imagine whatever your favorite thing is.
Okay.
Let's say it's Warhammer. I like Warhammer, but let's pretend for a second I didn't like Warhammer.
All right.
Imagine that you were like, hey, we're having fucking tabletop tonight. I got my new army set up. We're gonna play, and I'm like, yeah, I'll come. And then I show up, and the whole time I'm there, I'm just shitting on your models. I'm being like, yeah, your paint job looks fucking garbage. Necrons again, yeah, fucking big surprise, fucking dickhead. And the whole time you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I don't know. The analogy is great. Online is more accessible. He didn't get invited. He just invited themselves, the people in the chat. So that's not really a good example. And like he said, if you don't like something, you shouldn't interact with it. But what if, this person did like Warhammer, because, well, that's the majority of reasons why people like to watch streams or interact with the content creators that make the streams, to engage into the same topic that they like, right? But I don't know. Most of his analogies just miss the point a little bit. I think the nuance for his analogies are not on point most of the time. Like, he gets the spirit, but he doesn't fully grasp the message.
Yes, dude. Like I said, we were playing Warhammer. Why are you coming over and being a dickhead? Like, do you not like Warhammer? Why would you come to Warhammer night if you have a problem with Warhammer? It's the same fucking thing, bro. And that's what people are tired about. I don't care if you don't like Assassin's Creed. I don't care if you don't buy it. I don't care if you're upset about it.
No, you care about that people are upset about it, because otherwise you wouldn't make this video. Or this stream, I guess.
But if any of those things, if any of those points is true, why the fuck are you looking for Assassin's Creed streams to be angry at? Why?
Yeah, it's pathetic behavior. I don't really condone it. I think it's very stupid. I would never personally do it. I would engage in like in conversation between opposing views on social media, on Twitter, for example. But I would never go to somebody's Assassin's Creed stream, try to like trash on the game. Like, I wouldn't do that. But some people do. And it's probably kids too. High chance the people that came into your stream, that did what you did, that you're very upset about, which reason, by the way, okay, it ruins the whole vibe, it ruins the whole stream. I understand that. I think that's a very valid concern. Are probably like 14 years old. Probably. maybe a little bit older than that, but they're not adults. They're not. Hopefully. You know? Hopefully.
Look inside yourself and answer that fucking question. Because it does not make sense. You could be doing anything else with your time. You could be spending your energy any other fucking way. You could be improving yourself. You could be spending time with your fucking kids, hanging out with friends. You could be going to the gym. You could be learning a new hobby. But instead, you want to spend that time bitching and moaning. And this isn't just about Assassin's Creed. This is with any game, bro. It's with any game. Whether it's fucking, I mean, we're going to be playing fucking Berserker soon. But regardless of what the game is, whether it's Berserker, whether it's Kingdom Come, whether it's Elden Ring, if you don't like it, don't engage with it. And don't listen to some fucking asshole on the internet that wants to make a shitty thumbnail with my face because he doesn't even have the fucking balls to reach out to me directly and tell you that I'm talking about taking all your rights away.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me get the stream. Oh, I did not want to open all that. Stop. All right. No, wait. There you go. What did he exactly say? Hold on. He said something.
Fucking asshole on the internet that wants to make a shitty thumbnail with my face because he doesn't even have the fucking ball.
All right. There you go. I think I acquired the balls today, don't I? Right? Let's go.
Balls to reach out to me directly and tell you that I'm talking about taking all your rights away. Because he makes money off you being upset. You want some real talk? Everyone's so caught up. We're 2025, right? Everyone's so fucking caught up on dumb bullshit about fucking race wars and gender wars and all this bullshit. This big fucking stupid grift machine that's designed to make you angry. You want to know who you should be angry at? Look at the fucking people upstairs, bro. The people in charge want you to be angry. Because when you're too busy blaming the fucking dude down the street who's just trying to live his life, they're sitting there fucking counting money. You want to have a real war? Let's have a fucking class war. Let's get rid of the fucking billionaire dickheads that are literally butt fucking our country and taking money from it.
I mean, can't disagree. But it does kind of sound like, you know, a bit petty, doesn't it? You know?
But that won't fucking happen. Because you want to know who these dickheads that keep telling you to be angry are getting paid by? The same fucks that are robbing you of pennies on every single dollar you earn.
I disagree. A lot of these grifters are just very passionate about gaming, or things that they interact with and consume, and they're just seeing it going downhill, so they criticize and make videos about it, make their voice heard, so in hope that it changes for the better. I don't think any like higher up is making these people mad about gaming. No, don't think so.
They want you to be angry and to blame the black guy and to blame the gay guy and the fucking trans shows, because those are boogeymen. So you don't look at them while they take your fucking 401k and dick it down.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair. But also, people pick their fights. Some fights are doable, some fights are not. And considering, with the whole election that USA went through, a lot of people fought for what they wanted, and they won. But the other side lost, and they're crying because they lost. Like, you can't win. The moment you win, you're being called terrible labels. The moment you lose, haha, look at that, and they're still calling you labels. Like, it doesn't really matter. It really doesn't.
That's the reality of this situation. You want to be angry? No, a lot of fucking billionaires that could literally wipe their ass with $100 bill, and they're not gonna miss a fucking beat, bro. And instead, you're busy spending your time being angry that somebody can click a button to kiss a dude in a video game.
So, are people not allowed to be upset about things that they don't like? Is that suddenly illegal? Like, what? Imagine you don't know that. You buy this game and you see that shit. Like,
It don't make a lot of fucking sense to me, man. Really doesn't.
Yeah, but the reason most people are upset is because they don't understand why that's in the game. Why is it in the game? Like, if you want to make an insert self character, they should have just done like a makeshift like NPC maker, like that you can make your own custom character or something. Then you can do that shit. Then it's just different. Then you can, let's say you can like different routes. You can like choose your fucking sexuality. You can like do whatever. Like Baldur's Gate, right? Baldur's Gate is like the best example for this, I think. Baldur's Gate did everything brilliantly. Everything. And some people don't see that, but they did. All right? Because they put everything behind your choice. You want to kill a character? You can. You want to kiss the dude? You can. Like, it's not like the same thing. All right? Assassin's Creed is supposed to be a game about action, adventure, assassination, tactics. But the story should be interesting, should be fun, should be enlightening maybe, or something like that, right? But then, what's the point of having some gay relation, or any relation? Like, I don't get it. I don't see it.
So, I mean, there's not much else to really say. I think it's fucking dumb. I think the whole grift is fucking stupid. These people make money off you being angry, and if you have somebody that's telling you you should be angry at this Like, I think that this is kind of ironic because
nobody is saying you should be angry. No, I've never seen anyone said you should be angry at this. It's most of the time just look at this and then people react. Some people react in positive ways, some people react in negative ways. Like, it's really not that direct at all.
These videos, they're like, oh, the white liberal cockfighting cowboy with his woke values. Like, bro, by every definition of what the right-wing grift considers to be alpha male mentality, like, bro, I'm fucking white, I'm 6'1", I'm fucking jacked, I own firearms, I live in Tennessee, I'm everything that they tell you you're supposed to be a man. But because I'm not down with pushing down other groups of people, I'm suddenly the woke leftist cock.
Yeah, I think that's a dumb thing to say. From what I've seen so far from this video alone, I don't really perceive him as a very left-wing individual. Maybe more centrist, maybe right-leaning, maybe. But I don't really care, honestly. I don't really identify as either. I have values of my own, and whatever values correlate with whatever side is, I don't know, I don't care, you know? I care about what I care about, and I don't care about following some majority, right? But yeah, I don't think the accusation of him being this woke liberal is very accurate. He has some values that correspond with them, but I don't see it.
Might want to think about that, bro. Might want to think about that. Almost seems like there's an agenda to sell over there.
Yeah, both sides do it. Both sides have agendas.
Just saying.
I wonder what his chat was saying this whole entire time. Does he have chat here?
I don't even want to watch the world burn. I'm just tired of Elon Musk butt fucking the government.
Yeah, I disagree. I think auditing the government is not a bad thing at all, honestly. And getting rid of money wasting is definitely not bad either. And getting competent people in jobs that, or firing people from jobs where they're not competent in, then that's totally fine. And yeah, I think it's bad. I think it's bad people lost their jobs, sure. But on the other hand, like, if you think about it, right? You're an employer. Your employee doesn't do his job well. You fire them, you know? Like, in the end of the day, you don't want to pay money to an incompetent employee. Oh, there it is. But I'm always in the middle. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, anyone who it's just chat seems very reasonable. Should show up to a stream in a Hooters outfit to make them question their whole existence. What the hell? Okay, sure.
I'm tired of people crying about shit they don't like.
That's kind of what the left is doing, though. You know.
Just seems like, you know, seems like a waste of time. So, like I said, I'm willing to extend an olive branch here. But like anybody that's upset about this shit, like, yeah, I'm on the left, bro, but I like fucking firearms. I smoke cigars probably once a week with the boys out in the patio. I'm sure we can have a discussion. And I think I'm willing to explain to you that, you know, you got people that make money off blowing smoke up your ass. And
I don't think the issue is that people don't understand your argument. I think difference is that people don't share your values. You have different values than them. You have different things you care about than them. And I don't think anyone is going to have whenever somebody's going to have a discussion with you, you're not going to convince them to think differently. I think the best case scenario would be to agree to disagree. Because at the end of the day, people will not change their minds as easily as you think they will. Especially when it comes to things that they care about. Even though you pretend that these people don't care about that at all. You know?
Trying to make you angry. I don't think you should be angry. I think we should be, we should.
That's also a stupid thing. He keeps saying, like, oh, the people make you angry. No. People can criticize something without being emotionally angry. Like, you don't have to be angry if you want to criticize something. That doesn't work like that. Now, obviously, there's people that are mad, right? They are mad, they are seething about things, but they're not very coherent. They're not very, they don't really use their words right. They are just overall not very, very smart, or they act very dumb. And those are not the people you should be concerning yourself with. I agree. I think those people should be ignored because they're just a bunch of noise, right? But the people that are actually having coherent arguments, you disregard them too, and you call them grifters because you don't want to acknowledge them as actual valid criticizers. You know? It's kind of disingenuous.
Should be coming together. I'm saying it don't benefit any of us to be angry. Seems like a waste of fucking time and energy, but
we'll tell that to the people that still are protesting against Trump and Elon Musk. They don't have to be angry, but they are. They're wasting their time protesting, being a nuisance against traffic. All a waste of time, all a waste of energy.
Anyway. I want to go finish eating this steak bowl. This is cool. I don't know if y'all have ever had poke bowls, right? A lot of poke bowl places, it's like fish.
Alright, I think he's done with this whole video. I think it was a pretty good video. He had some, coherent takes. I think he's a very reasonable person. I don't think he is a very woke guy. I just think he is more, how you say this? I think he's more of a person that cares less about certain things because he doesn't disagree with them. He might not agree with everything, right? But he doesn't disagree with most of them. Most of the woke ideology he agrees with, right? I mean, yeah, I still need to watch. I also want to check out that, like, wait, where's this a different video? Oh, there's a different video. Okay. Or not. No, there's a different video. Okay. But yeah. Okay. Let's finish this video. I'll try to pause as little as possible because this video is becoming 2 hours almost.
He works out. His opinion somehow matters more than someone who doesn't, which is a ridiculous thing to say. For example, personally, I work out about 4 or 5 times a week. I've been working out since I was 13. I've been an athlete most of my life. That doesn't make my opinion any better than anyone else. And if you believe that, you are genuinely stupid. And you're compensating for something. Yeah,
it's not what he said. It's not what he meant. He just wanted to degrade the people's opinions.
compensating for a lack of a real argument, and also it just looks incredibly insecure. That flex right there, what are you doing, man? Like, seriously, I hate, forgive me, guys. I'm going to use some TikTok Zoomer language here. That gave me the ick. That made me physically recoil. That was cringe.
No, that was just confidence. And for somebody who claims to be working out and being an athlete for like years, I'm starting to doubt that you said the truth there.
Basically, like, oh, I see all these losers criticizing me. I'm gonna hit them with the flex. It's cringe, man. And then you got this whole part about, oh, these people don't go outside. These grifters, they don't go outside. Dude, you play video games for a living. What are you talking about? Telling people that they don't go outside and trying to shame them for that? That's a very weird approach. But then you also have this whole thing about anons, right? People being anonymous and not using their real names and using avatars and stuff like that. First of all, anyone who wants to force people to use their legal and real names and identification on social media in order to be able to criticize people, that's super weird behavior. But also, talk about made-up names. My brother in Christ, your name is Fightin Cowboy. Like, I'm pretty sure that's not on your government.
Yeah, he's nitpicking everything he says now. You can tell he's very, very nitpicking everything he says and kind of ignoring what he said.
ID. So that's a very weird thing to say. And also calling people weak-willed men because they dare to criticize these companies. First of all, projection. And also, if you notice in that clip and the whole video, his voice is literally shaking the whole time. Like, he's getting so wrapped up in his emotions because someone dared to call out Ubisoft and other companies.
Okay, yeah, he's fucking reaching now, bro. What the fuck?
It's very, very strange. Now, here's the real irony of this. What I'm going to do here is a little different because this is a long video. I'm just going to take his key points, tell you what they are, and I'm going to give a quick response to it. Because honestly, if you want to get an in-depth breakdown of all this with all the receipts and everything, I highly recommend this video by Endymion. Okay, I'm going to put a link to this in the description. If you want a long 33-minute breakdown of this, I highly recommend this because the irony of this is that I was listening to his video as background noise while I was at the gym today. So that's pretty ironic given these circumstances and what this guy's saying. But again, in this video, Endymion absolutely blasts this guy. Like, have you ever seen that meme with the coughing baby versus Atom Bomb? That was Fightin Cowboy versus Endymion. It's an absolute bloodbath of a video, just dismantling everything this guy's trying to say. So let's go back to Fightin Cowboy for a second. So he makes a bunch of different points. Point number one involves Yasuke and Assassin's Creed Shadows. He begins by saying it's basically up for historical debate whether or not Yasuke is a samurai. There's a lot of historians who say he is, and basically if you don't like that, get over it. Well, of course, the only people who have ever cited that he's a samurai begins with Thomas Lockley, who we all know is a disgraced historian who literally vandalized the Yasuke Wikipedia page and used his own book as a source. And when he was exposed for all this stuff because there was no merit to any of his claims, he immediately deactivated every social media account, and we've never heard from him since. And the only other person who even attempted to make this claim was a Japanese historian who's a member of their Communist Party who believes in the Marxist theory of producing history where they think you can make historical claims without empirical evidence. Basically saying, I feel like something happened. I feel like Yasuke was a samurai because it just feels right, even though I have no evidence. That's the two guys. That's the two historians who have been absolutely ripped apart by other Japanese historians. Those are the only two. So no. We're not going to accept that he is a samurai. He was a retainer. That's what the historical
that's
evidence
the overall
suggests.
consensus.
It's very fair to criticize that, especially since that historical inaccuracy is the key to why he's even a co-protagonist on an Assassin's Creed game in the first place. They wouldn't take a retainer and have him in that role. They had to make him a samurai. And they did this while promising many times over this game is going to be as historically accurate as possible. And they obviously didn't do that. And they did this to make Yasuke into the position that he was. Then we see stuff with Oda Nobunaga. He mentions this in his video as well. And basically, ignores the fact that people in Japan in particular are highly offended by the way this historical figure and his family have been portrayed, especially his sister, who is literally has an option of getting banged by Yasuke in this game. This is a woman who is dubbed the Mother of Japan, who then produced a line of emperors. And she's so loyal, she was so loyal to her husband, that she chose to die by his side when he was under attack. She could have escaped. No, she decided to die by his side. She was that
Winners write history, though. This could be an exaggeration.
That loyal. But in this game, she has the option of getting banged by Oda's, basically the guy he paid to have by his side.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Do you see why people are offended? Now, he does this whole like bit about
this, like a servant from like a king hooking up with his with his not queen, what's the other one, princess, right? And I know there's a lot of stories that do that, but all of them, the father or the king never really is a fan of those kind of stories. He's always against those kind of marriages or relationships. So yeah.
We got to expand our viewpoints of the world. We're not just, white dudes here. We got to expand. Well, Japan is someone who's very offended by this to the point where it's gone before their national dai, which is the highest level of government. And the Prime Minister of Japan literally talked about this game in some of its aspects and called it disrespectful. You don't care about what they have to say, clearly, or you're just not aware. Then he also says this is all manufactured outrage with shadows, mainly by white dudes. And understand this. This guy is a shill for Ubisoft. He got early access to this game because he has a relationship with Ubisoft. That's why...
I don't know. Like you said, he's a big YouTuber, and he claimed that he got all these other games for free too. And I can see that because, I mean, people like Corey Kenshin, Dashi... obviously those also have been sponsored directly by Ubisoft. I don't want to disregard that, but they also get other games for free just because they're a big Markiplier gets games for free. Like, it's just a business strategy that a lot of companies use.
You won't catch him criticizing anything.
He did not directly get sponsored by Ubisoft, so he's not a shill. Or a paid shill, I guess.
They do, because it's in his financial interest to do so. It's so obvious. But then he blames everything on grifters. It's unbelievable. Then the next claim, it's a little tangent about him being a big, straight white dude. Take a shot every time he says it. It's unbelievable. Big, straight white dude. And he says, as a big, straight white dude, we have to do better. People just hate representation that's not them. People hate seeing diversity in games, which is ridiculous because he's using Assassin's Creed Shadows for that. The worst franchise he could use to prove his point. Assassin's Creed not only has had black characters in lead positions, they are riddled with minorities in places as high as protagonists, all throughout, beginning right with the first game, a Middle Eastern man, Altair. Like, people...
Yeah, but he probably sees them as white. He probably sees them as white. Just like the Italian dude. He also sees them as white, even though he's Italian. Americans are very ignorant about, like, who is white. And because they call people black and white. Like, that's dumb, bro. At least know where the fuck these people live or, like, come from, man. Like, whenever I, like, talk about people... And this is more of a European thing, I think. But at least we know where the fuck people come from, We don't just call them white. We would have at least called them American, And American is everyone from America, alright? Black, white, Asian, fucking Puerto Rican, whatever, bro. Americans have just some correlation. Every single time, whenever you meet one, that person is American for sure. All right, you just know. They have certain behaviors, certain way they talk, obviously. Like, you just know.
People didn't have an issue with him or Connor, a Native American in Assassin's Creed 3. People didn't have an issue with those characters because they made sense for the environment and the story. It was organic. Yasuke being chosen as the representation of feudal Japan is forced.
Yep.
If you can't see why it's forced, there's no helping you. You've been consumed by the Ubisoft propaganda there.
I think if they only had the female protagonist that they have now, and they had like a counterpart, like Japanese men, nobody would have complained about the majority of this game. You know? Okay, they still would have criticized the promotional stuff they did, right? Because that was very insensitive and stupid of them. But I think the game would have been, I wouldn't say praised, because the game is, I don't know, lacking critical like game mechanics and stuff. But yeah, I think people would have not hated the game as much as they did because of you know, the stupid idea of making a black samurai, you know.
And of course, he talks over and over again about people not wanting to see other perspectives and things like that. Again, with Japan, he clearly doesn't care what Japan has to say about any of this. The Fightin' Cowboy does not have time to listen to what the Japanese have to say about their own history being rewritten by a game claiming it's historically accurate. And then he goes into this wild tangent about how the media is not against white Christians. And he says basically anyone upset about this is a white male Christian living in a small town, which is a gross overgeneralization of people who were criticizing this game. And also to believe that Christianity is some fixture of the media that's always protected. Brother, I know you're an NPC, but open your eyes, dude. Do you see what happens in the media and in society at large? How Christianity is the biggest punching bag of any religion out there. It is the safe edgy. Making fun of Christians and Christianity is safe edgy.
Yeah, they never do that with Muslims because they don't have ammo, right? And whenever they do have ammo, they only have like 2 bullets. You know, they don't know enough about about Muslims or like the Quran or anything like that, so they can't really make fun of them because they don't know anything. They're not educated in their racism or their prejudice, you know? These people are educated about Christianity because they lived through it. And that's why they make fun of it and they know so much about it. You know? Like, being educated is a very good way of being racist, man. If you're racist, at least be fucking educated about why you're racist, you know? At least not be a brain dead moron that is not, you know, that doesn't have any valid reasons to be racist, you know? At least have a reason. Have like, I don't know, some terrible experience with that person. Obviously, it's still ignorant, all right? Racism is still very ignorant. But at least be either educated about them, like at least know where the fuck they come from, you know? Like that's the bare fucking minimum, man. You know?
It's just like how people can make fun of white people and get away with it. Have you not opened your eyes to this? It's right in front of you. But then he gets this cocky...
Look at TikTok, bro. So much anti-white propaganda on that app, bro. It's crazy.
Tangent where he's like, I'm going to open up my game files or my video history here and stream history, and I'm just going to pull out random games I've played or seen or come across, and I'm going to point out the dumb controversies and show you how stupid they all are. He begins with Stellar Blade, and he says that people were upset about a titty window being censored and interrupting their gooning session, which is, again, we hear this bullcrap talk and language all the time, where he fails to acknowledge that journalists came out with hit pieces on Shift Up, the development team, saying all these disparaging things about them.
Yeah, but he didn't want to, you know, he didn't want to lose his audience. You know, he can't acknowledge that the side that he's on or the side that he's supporting did something wrong too. You can't do that. You can't acknowledge that, you know, both sides do stupid shit. All right, both sides have fucking retards. All right, it's just true. All right, but he definitely made sure to not mention any like controversies that the side that he's trying to support here, to actually acknowledge them.
Shaming this design and the people who made it. In fact, there's a famous IGN France article where they basically say the person who designed this has never touched a woman, and implying they're an incel, right? Little did they know, the
character was a woman. The main girl you play as is a real life woman. So I think the person who designed her actually came in contact with her. So that's just funny.
main creator of Stellar Blade is a married man. And also, his wife was on the art team that helped design these outfits. So
God damn!
And a lot of people saw that. But
that's hilarious.
Here's the main issue. The game was advertised by Shift Up as uncensored on release, that the outfits would not be censored on release. And that's what happened. Once it was officially released, they did a rug pull with some of the outfits and censored them. And people had an issue with that.
True.
If it's such a minor thing as this guy...
Because it's a promise that they didn't keep. People don't like liars. People don't like people that break promises. And whenever there's companies that do that, they get the same energy back. You know, if somebody promised me, hey, I want to borrow this game and I'll give it back to you in a month. And, you know, you ask about it and they tell you, oh, I don't remember that. Yeah, people are going to be pissed, you know? Like, bro, you promised me to give the game back in a month. You know, if you want it longer, you can just ask, right? Like, if you haven't, you know, finished the game yet or whatever, right? Or you want to play it some more, you can keep it as long as you want. But at least be honest, you know? Like, I give this, or I lent this game to you because, you know, let's assume he's a friend of mine, right? Like, with the trust that you are going to keep your promise, or at least be honest with me, right? But the moment they start not being honest with me, that's when I stop trusting him, you know? Because why would you keep trusting people that are dishonest? Like, that's just stupid.
Guy is suggesting, why did they change it? If it's not a big deal, why did they change it?
Yep.
And you're not getting what you paid for. I know people like to just shut up and consume products, but in this case, they promised something and they didn't deliver.
Yep.
And people had an issue with that. And I am very happy with Stellar Blade. Great game. I'm very glad of all the achievements it did. It's a great success.
Can't wait for the PC release, bro. Can't wait.
But that was the one blemish on Stellar Blade, was that basically swap on the outfit and whether or not it was going to be censored. So then he talks about Dragon Age the Veilguard and says the only reason people didn't like that game was because Tash was non-binary, which he's right. People had issue with that because it was cringe, and it was shoved into your face at every single moment, and it reflected the type of people.
And you couldn't kill her. You could kill any other character in the game. You could not kill Tash. It was not allowed.
Working on this game,
plot armor
at BioWare, who are narcissists, and they're doing self-inserts into the story and putting all their own agenda into it just for their own personal desires. It was very obvious. But overall, beyond that, the game was trash.
Yep.
It was a husk of what Dragon Age is all about, and the numbers show it. Nobody liked the game. It was overall a gigantic disappointment, and because it was so bad, we're never going to see another Dragon Age game, okay? Then he switches to...
I highly doubt that will,
pronouns were the only issue, which again, gross oversimplification of what's going on here. Pronouns were something that became an issue because of the behavior of people on their staff. Elon Musk commented on a tweet that was talking about pronouns being in the game, and then one of the art directors came...
Yep, I remember that. This happens when we shove woke shit into people's mouth. Yeah, it's gonna piss people off, man, because it's intrusive.
Came out and basically said, I made this game to spite people like you.
Yep.
Showing that their artistic vision has been corrupted by their own hatred of people like Elon Musk. And that same person said that they don't like white people, that they give black artists...
That was that bald guy, right? right? That was that bald guy.
Advantages when they're working with them solely based on the color of their skin. There was a lot of reasons people didn't like that game and the team behind it.
He was literally a white Uncle Tom. Like, I don't think there's any like term for a Uncle Tom for like a white person. Maybe you can use Uncle Tom for white people too, but he was literally that.
Then he talks about gender options, where he tries to do this like gotcha moment where he's like, listen up, guys. There's always been gender options in games, you know? Haha, gotcha. And he's right. There's been gender options for as long as I can remember. The first Pokemon game I ever played, the first thing they ask you is, are you male or are you female?
False. He asks you if you're a girl or a boy. Know your games, bro.
And if you ask Fightin Cowboy how many genders there are, I'm not sure what answer you're going to get. But in this case, yeah, they gave options back then. 2 of them.
Yep.
You were either a fightin' cowboy or you were a fightin' cowgirl. It's as simple as that. They didn't have non-binary options. They didn't have they, them, z, them, whatever we're doing nowadays. Those were not a part of it. So that is the worst gotcha I have seen. In fact, it kind of just blows up in his face. But really, that sums it up. Okay, I think this is massive projection, a very weird attempt to create drama for himself. You know, he tries to base his whole crash out on the fact that there were a couple of viewers saying disparaging things about Yasuke as a black man. Not because of anything to do with the game, just because he was black.
Yeah, I believe that. I think there were people coming into this chat that said some racist shit and they got dealt with. I think that definitely happened, yeah.
And if he wants to ban someone like that from his chat, more power to him. It's his channel. He can do whatever he wants. But then he adds in all of these other games and controversies.
Yeah.
And he links them to the initial issue with these chatters. So
I like how it would have been funny if he also like mentioned the shitting your pants analogy. I thought that was a very funny analogy because he got so close to understanding that both the left and the right are sick of each other and ruining what they enjoy.
So now he's opening himself up to all of the things we just went through. These are things he self-created. He didn't have to talk about these things, but he felt the need to own the grifters. And at this point...
Yeah, but you're also making this video because you felt the need to. Maybe not own the grifters or anything like that, but like you know, I don't think it's a bad thing for him to make this video. I think it's very okay, you know, it was on his mind. He wanted to talk about it, and he did. I think that's his prerogative. I think that's fine. I don't think that's a very good criticism against him. I think you're just trying to reach for like different criticisms to like make him look worse than he actually is. I don't think he's a bad dude. I just think, you know, you disagree with him, but you're trying to make him seem like this devil character person when he's, you know, he just disagrees with you, you know? I think he has, you know, some exaggerated descriptions over what he says, because he didn't say those things. Maybe he meant those. I didn't get the impression that he said the things that referenced in the way he re-described it. But yeah, I think both of these guys, it's funny, man, I'm like a mediator right now, but both of these guys they have an agenda, they have a certain goal for the videos that they're making, right? And both of them are, you know, trying to degrade and minimize the significance of each side, right? I think Mr. Cowboy here did it to really made fun of like loser people, right? Like people that don't really leave the house, that don't really go to the gym, that, you know, stuff like that, right? He attacked masculinity, right? He attacked men that lack masculinity, which is something the right often does, right? But regardless, he did that to like get his agenda across, even though the majority of the people that are on his side are probably in the same boat. But regardless of that, that's beyond this, like he likes to say. And then Rev here, he does the exact opposite. He goes in for more of a personalized attack on his character, and he generalizes him a little bit, not too much, but a little bit.
Pretty much prove that these so-called grifters seem to know a lot more about games than he does, because he basically showed that, yeah, he might be a great gamer, but he doesn't know what's going on with these games, the controversies.
He knows. He deliberately skipped over the controversies that the side that he is on would not diminish, but would damn it! I had it. Shit. I had the word. Damn it. I forgot. Shit. Now, anyway, the side that it would make the side look worse. It's not the word I want to use though. God damn it.
What's going on in the communities? He's been either blind to it, or he's intentionally ignoring it because it's in his interest to do so.
Yeah.
But that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about.
Alright, that was the video. Okay, so listen, alright, this video is about 2 hours and 16 minutes long. I am very sorry for that. I also still want to watch this crash out, but maybe I'll just record it another day. I need to find it first anyway, so it will take a while, you know, before I can actually find it and all that. So, whatever. Anyway, if you're seeing that, anyway, Jesus, losing my train of thought here. Let me know what you thought about the video, my reaction, leave a like, subscribe. That's about it. Take care.